It's just getting worse and worse and worse for Disney. I know Rotten Tomatoes scores don't really matter anymore. Considering that FNAF and The Meg 2 made massive profits despite very low Rotten Tomatoes scores. Don't forget the fact that Jurassic World Dominion grossed $1 billion despite having the lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes in the series history. Okay, it couldn't save Transformers, obviously, because the movie didn't do well in China. It did better than Bumblebee everywhere else, except for China. It did far worse than Bumblebee in China. But the movie did very similarly globally to Bumblebee. It is kind of sad because that movie was actually quite decent. I know a lot of people are like, really? You said that movie's decent, but not Spider-Verse? How dare you have wrong opinions on wine? Actually, Spider-Verse is still a decent movie. It was not the masterpiece everybody made it out to be, so everybody got angry that I said it wasn't a masterpiece. Like, really? I'm talking about Spider-Verse. I'm talking about the second movie. I'm not talking about the first movie. I'm talking about the one released this year. Okay, called Across the Spider-Verse. Of course, both movies are still better than the second Meg. The second Meg was kind of very disappointing. But, other than that, no one, even the critics don't like this. Okay, 58%. Wow. Wow. Okay, you think things wouldn't get worse with Disney? Of course, it will probably pick up like Elemental did. Okay, but I haven't seen Elemental. Is Elemental like 8 reviews? Okay, like a total of 8 reviews, and it was like 50% of 8 reviews. Okay, essentially. But this already has 50 reviews. The movie's coming out next week. Okay. It's coming out against the Napoleon movie. Okay, it's coming out against the Napoleon movie. Also, Trolls and Hunger Games will probably still be making money next weekend because it's Thanksgiving. Not the Marvels. I don't think the Marvels are making any money. But this, absolutely. Okay, Disney has lost Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, the Marvels is one of the worst Rotten Tomatoes reviewed Marvel movies outside of the Eternals and Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. Okay, this is Disney's worst reviewed movie since like Chicken Little. Okay. And Home on the Range, okay, which are often considered Disney's worst movies, okay, but this movie is doing that badly, okay, no one is interested in this movie, no one cares about this movie. This movie is projected, the projections keep falling for this movie like if the Marvels and Elemental did, okay, there's no interest for this movie, okay, these are the same people who are saying, oh, you sort of see Napoleon because it glorifies men. Okay, but this is the movies they're going to promote. They're going to promote Marvels and this. And no one cares about either of these movies, okay? Because we know Rotten Tomatoes is paid by Disney, okay? I'm sorry, but when you have like a movie as successful like the FNAF movie, having such a low Rotten Tomatoes score, but for some reason the Marvels has a fresh score, you know the website is rigged, okay? You know that Disney is trying to rig, the seats underneath. But I think even now, enough of the critics are done taking the Disney money and saying the truth about these Disney movies. Okay? Which is sort of set off like, what they did with the Lion King and Aladdin, that didn't really affect, obviously, the box office totals. But not even the critics can stomach this, which is Disney's first original animated movie since Enchanto. Okay? And we're going to look at Enchanto's score. Okay, there's never seen this in Enchanto. Enchanto has 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, we don't have no 92%. Okay, and Enchanto was a mediocre ass movie. I will never understand how this movie became so successful and so popular. Okay, because it's one of the most mediocre movies I've ever seen. Okay, it's another extremely overrated movie, but again, you're not going to have many people defending Enchanto outside of Disney fanboys and Disney fangirls. Okay. Yeah, but this. Okay. This. Disney, of course, is going to be concerned about this. Okay. They're hoping that this will be the big hit of the year. Okay. After flop, like Dial of Destiny, you had Elemental, which did really bad for a Pixar movie. Yes, the movie had rigs, but $400 million. Okay, it's only $494 million. It still didn't break even. Okay, it still did not break even. at the box office. Of course, it'll still make money in streaming. Merchandise will still sell pretty well. Disney is advertising as a big thing for Disney Plus now. Maybe because of, people have interest in seeing Elemental now. It might actually help Disney Plus. Yes, something might actually help Disney Plus. But again, still between Elemental though. Okay, in Elemental you had to deal with 3 movies. Okay, 3 movies. Elemental, no, actually 2 movies. 2 made the anime, one anime movie. The other one was Ruby Gilman, a movie that was dead on arrival, okay? The fact that they literally announced the movie in March, only giving it so much time for advertising the movie, and no one cared, okay? Also used the B-Mouth art style. People were like, really? How dare you criticize the B-Mouth art style? I don't know why you're so against it, okay? It's not a bad art style. Like, people like, you will defend the B-Mouth art style to the end. It's not. It's not. People say it's great art style because it's cartoony. And cartoons are supposed to be cartoony. Okay? You don't want everything to be super realistic. That's what people will say. But no, I want everything to be unique. Okay? The thing with Illuminations, older movies are more unique than the B-Mouth art style. I'd rather have that art style used in their movies than all movies than use the stupid ass B-Mouth, like with Elemental and Turning Red. I know people you really are angry over a shape of a mouth in a movie. Okay? You're really that mad over something so minuscule? Where it's really about the point. Yeah, sometimes I can get over the B-Mouth art style in movies. Yes, I can sometimes get over it. But most of the time, it's a draw. It's that, like, if Turning Red, it's like, ugh. Get to sit off my screen. But B-Mouth or not, this is projected to flop. $200 million? On what? How is Disney spending so much money on these movies, only for them to be mediocre piles of garbage? If you spend more money on something, it must be great, right? But some of the most expensive movies in history are piles of garbage. Okay, the newest Star Wars movies. Okay, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, some of the most expensive movies in history are trash. Okay, Risk, $200 million budget, Marvel's $200 million budget, Dow Destiny, $300 million budget. Okay, Ant-Man Watch Quantumania. You would think that these movies would be at least good. I haven't seen Elemental. I haven't seen Dow Destiny, I refuse to see Dow Destiny. But I never heard anything good about Dow Destiny. Little Mermaid remake, that was awful. $200 million on that? Okay, $300 million, actually. $300 million on that. Now, Lion King remake, $260 million on that, okay? Well, they're bad! Yes, the Lion King remake made $1.6 billion, but I think people are starting to wake up to these Disney remakes. I think people are starting to wake up to see that Disney is not the company it used to be. And this is the problem with Disney. Now, they have to really try to regrow the reputation like they did with like they had to do in the 90s. And they had the Disney Renaissance, okay? Because Disney had the worst time since the 80s, okay? The 80s was the worst time for Disney, okay? Until The Little Mermaid. I think The Little Mermaid was the first Renaissance movie, okay? And it's really Disney's fault, okay? Really Disney's fault. They produce half-ass movies, or woke movies that nobody wants to see. And then they'll complain and try to get people banned for disliking the movies that are complete garbage anyways. Okay? I'm not too surprised. I didn't fall for, like everyone else, for the hype circle of Risk. Okay, I'm not falling for the hype circle of Inside Out 2 either. Because you know what? I don't care. Okay, when they saw the first Mario movie, I was like, oh my god, it's a Mario movie. Heck, I was more excited for the FNAF movie than more for anything Disney's putting out of 2024. I was more excited for that movie. I was like, oh my god. I remember FNAF. That was that weird game that became really popular because of Markiplier screaming at your screen. I'd rather watch that than watch Risk. Okay, Risk and Disney's just same old garbage. Okay, and people saying that, but Risk actually looks cool. They actually have a villain this time. They actually have characters this time. Oh yeah, something they sort of had in the other movies. Okay, like Frozen 2. Disney dug themselves in a hole. And I don't think they'll be able to get themselves out of it. I think Risk's box office, say, oh, let's just bring back Frozen, Moana, all these other IPs. I don't think that will work either. I think people are done with Disney. I think people are done with Disney overall. Maybe Inside Out and Deadpool 3 might be too well, But you can see a company is desperate when they're delaying every single project. Because they don't know if it'll be successful or not. And that's it about Risk. Absolutely 0 people is interested in this movie outside of maybe a couple of Disney fanboys. And that's it. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't even seem to like this movie, which is the most funny thing in the world. It's funny, only the thing that matters, the only time I pay attention to Disney movies, Rotten Tomatoes, is when a Disney movie gets a bad score. You know the movie's gonna be bad, when not even Rotten Tomatoes is gonna give it a good score. And that's it for this video here. Goodbye.